gentlemen, it is July 5th. So as promised, I wanted to show you the progress of the car real quick. So I'll show you that real quick. You guys let me know what you think so far. This is the front. Moving on to the side. There's the drag pack, but I need to get an alignment because holy shit, that shit is sketchy right now to drive, but still doing it anyways. Just taking it easy, you know. And this is full bolt on. Nothing crazy, no boost yet, but pretty much getting ready for it, which is why you see the drag pack. Got a nice carbon trunk on there. Full exhaust, 3 inches to the back with 4-inch tips. And long tube headers. Pretty much the same thing over here. You can see that meat right there. Yes, sir. And same thing. Now let's move our way all the way again to the back. Pretty much it. Nothing much going on. Man, I'm always surprised at fucking little things I see on the car. But I mean, that's how it is, especially with carbon fiber. Carbon fiber just loves fucking dings and chips and whatnot. If you wonder what that noise is, I live on a fucking farm, so I do have little animals here. But anyways, it's pretty much my morning. Let's get in the car so you can hear me a little bit better. About to take off to take care of a client. My super early morning client decided to cancel today. Woke up at 5 a.m. and then literally saw a text like, hey, I can't come. So went back to sleep for like another hour and a half. And pretty much woke up, got ready, and I situated my gym stuff, whatnot, and yeah, now I'm gonna make my way to train the client. Afterwards, go work out real quick. I have like about an hour and a half to work out, and then I have like 3 or 4 clients today at my personal trainer job. So a little more eventful Saturday than usual, but nothing crazy. We'll get over it. Should be back home by 3, honestly. So we'll see what's on. I'll keep you guys updated afterwards at some point. You guys will see. But yeah, stay tuned. So real quick, I did want to show you guys kind of some like I just made a video about what to eat before training or whatever. So something like this, a rice cake, rice digests very quickly. That's why a lot of people like eating Rice Krispies before or during, because they digest so quickly because it's rice. It's a starch technically, but it's a more simple starch, I guess, if that makes sense. But it's not super heavy at all. It's just rice cakes. There's about 60 calories in each, 12 carbs per. So I usually eat like no more than 4 to 5 of these before my training session. They're kind of addicting, so you can kind of literally start eating non-stop and you'll just forget. But when you're bulking, it's a great easy snack. Even when you're dieting, honestly, like these are 60 calories, but they sell some as low as like 35, 40 calories, and they do have different flavors, but my favorite is chocolate by far. It tastes like the Cocoa Krispies or Cocoa Puffs, whatever you want to call it. It tastes exactly the same. And yeah, and then I'm sipping right now. Every single morning I have some sort of electrolyte drink. That way I set myself up for the day. As you know, I do have a morning job, and it's very labor intensive, and I'm sweating all the time. I'm outside in the sun, so this is really important for me. Not sure exactly the exact amounts of electrolytes and whatnot, sodium, etc. But the main thing is that if you do something similar, labor intensive, if you're in the sun, whatever it is, moving around a lot, sweating, then definitely make sure you're keeping up with your electrolytes and water as well. So both of those combined. And then intra workout, which means during the workout, lately I've been doing these medium size Powerades, which is about 34 grams of carbs during. So that way, you know, I'm replenishing those carbs that I've lost during the morning and during the workout thus far. Keep in mind that even though you're not training, you lose carbs. Like, you're losing carbs because your body runs on carbs, so you're losing carbs no matter what. So that's why, especially when you're bulking and whatnot, you got to keep up with that. But even when you're dieting, like I said, it doesn't hurt to have like an intro workout because you're already low in carbs, you're low in calories, so it does not hurt to include one of these if you can deal with it. Because keep in mind, this is like a chicken breast right here essentially. So if you can deal with that, instead of eating that, and you want to prioritize training a little more, then go for it. But that's pretty much it. I always put it in my little hydro flask here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I do have a little car. It doesn't really look like it, but it's orange. It's the same color, so it's funny. Let me tell you a story real quick. I was driving around with that thing for a while. I didn't notice. It was like on my hood, like between the hood and the front fucking window thing, windshield. What's it called? I was driving around with it, and then one day I stopped at a gas station, and I noticed that shit was like, I got in my car and I noticed that something orange was on the hood, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I just picked it up, and there was a Hot Wheels. So someone left a Hot Wheels car on there, and I'm not sure at what point it was, but you know, I just randomly picked it up and I saw it. So and it's kind of a coincidence because literally days before I was seeing these TikToks of people buying Hot Wheels of people's cars and putting them on there, and then getting their reaction by recording them through like in a parking space away, like pointing it at that specific car. It's actually funny, but I mean, maybe someone did that to me, who knows? But maybe I just fucking took off with the car on there. But yeah, but I'll keep you guys updated. What's up, guys? So we're back home, completed the workout, completed our clients that we had today. Only had 2 clients today, not too bad. So yeah, so we'll try to keep this one short as possible because I yapped a lot in the morning already, showed you guys my car and whatnot. But yeah, I need to get that fucking alignment done ASAP because it just feels super sketch. Literally the tail end is literally like this nonstop, just because you know, they're different kinds of tires, and I did raise up the suspension in the back and whatnot. I think I already said that. But today we'll go over 3 essentials for a good leg day. So number 1, warm up. So you need to ensure that you're getting a good warm up in before you get crazy and go squat or do any heavy deadlifts, heavy RDLs, whatever it is. So before you do any of the heavy compounds, heavy lifting, you need to make sure that you're warming up properly. So I'm gonna name off some things that are my go-to to make sure everything is settled and properly like ready to go. So, and obviously there's a lot of little stuff that you can include, such as stretching and whatnot, but after warming up a little bit, but that's really preference. But I'm really gonna go into like the more of the detail oriented stuff for a good warm-up. So you need to make sure you're getting a good adduction, abduction, little warm-up sets going. So I had to randomly cut it. My neighbor decided to pull up on me out of nowhere, but as I was saying, so good abduction, adduction, warm-up sets. Obviously, for us guys, you usually see only females doing this, but guess what? You got to do them too. They're doing it for a reason. And obviously, like, you don't really realize it, but it's huge, especially when you're doing any kind of squatting and even really like leg press. I do it for whatever it is, any kind of leg day. So good sets, work up towards a challenging weight, you know, same idea, top set, drop set, if that's your thing, but just make sure you're challenging yourself, even in these things. You know, try to do better than last week and whatnot. but no more than like one top set or two top sets at most, maybe a top set drop set like I just said. So 2 good sets for each at most, and that way you're really, you know, you're activating both your hips, you're opening up your hips properly, which is a huge component to a good squat. Keep that in mind. So you can't have tight hips whenever you're squatting, whether you do barbell, hack squats, whatever it is, even in the leg press. Like, you should be going deep on those things. So this is why you need to have open and, you know, not tense or tight hips. So, and obviously on the other end, you need to make sure you're activating your inner thigh and your groin area. That way you're mitigating injuries and you're also activating that part, because it's huge. You use that a lot in squatting as well, especially when you're going deep, like I said. Pause. But besides this, once you're done here, you can either do some light stretching if you want, but I never really have. You don't really need to unless it's towards the very end, like I explained in the last few videos. But after this, I like to get some isolation work in. So this is where I'm gonna warm up my hamstrings and quads and glutes if you want, but you kind of hit them a little bit when you did the abductions. So I need to specify it precisely. Abduction, adduction. So they're different. It literally says it on the machine if you've never seen it, but one is for your inner thigh, groin area, other is for your hips. But anyways, so I always like to start off, ensure I'm starting off with hamstring stuff, hamstring warm-up stuff. That's because I'm not putting direct pressure on my knee, especially if you have weak knees, or you know, sometimes here or there you get some knee pain or knocking knees, whatever it is. If you start with hamstring, warming up with your hamstrings, whatever you choose, laying, seated, single, whatever it is. If you start off with hamstrings, you're not putting direct pressure on your knees. So, and it kind of helps you warm them up, because let's say for a seated hamstring, you're going straight down and then up. You're warming up your hamstring without putting direct pressure on it, compared to a leg extension or a quad extension where you're literally forcing your knee in that. You're forcing all the weight towards your knee. So that's why I like to start with the warm-up, because you're warming up your knees. Even though you're closing them, you're still warming them up because they're in the shortened position. But after this, you get in a good few, maybe 2-3 sets tops, nothing super exerting. You move on to the quad extension, any kind, single, double, whatever it is. And then after this, you can start moving on to your compound. And this is where you'll start, you know, doing your warm-up sets, practicing your form properly, make sure everything is in place. So I guess my neighbor wants to be annoying today, but as I was saying, you know, practicing your form, getting warm-up sets in, getting more warm-up in all the muscle groups. So once you get to that compound, you're using all those at once, obviously, right? Because it's a compound using multiple muscle groups, and it's more exerting on your body. You're gonna shoot for that heavy weight. So once you get to these warm-up sets and whatnot, you work your way up towards comfortable weight, and then you hit your. What I like to do is, so if I'm doing something like a hack squat, I'll do like maybe a plate at a time. So if I'm working up to 3 plates, I'll do a plate. I'll do like something like 6 reps tops. That's really important not to go crazy above that, because you're gonna be overexerting yourself, and then your top set, you know, you could have gotten, let's say you got 7 reps, but you really could have gotten like 9-10 if you would have, you know, lessened the amount of reps for the other sets, which were, you know, you were just working towards your top set. But besides this, I'm kind of losing track. So number 1, warm up. So all this leads to a warm up to the main thing, which is your compound. So number 2, it is compounds. So make sure you have at least 1 compound in every leg day. This is an essential. Whatever it is, whatever you're targeting that day, whether it's hamstring dominant day, quad dominant day, or you're just going overall, make sure you have a compound, a 2 if you want. You know, that's good too. Really, it's up to you. It's a lot of preference, but one thing that should always be there, no matter what, on a leg day, is a compound. I always like to go with some sort of squat or some sort of leg press. Once again, it's going to really depend on what you're targeting that day. But try not to overthink it. You know, just choose one or the other, or vice versa, and then find what you like. There's a lot of variations of machines. There's barbell. You know, you can even use dumbbell work on a flat bench. Whatever it is that you like, try different things. But number 3 is your isolations. So back to where you were warming up with your quad extensions, your hamstring curls. So you're gonna come all the way back to these things, and then you're really gonna get into the detail work. So this is where you'll be really focusing in on the pump, on the, you know, going to absolute failure on these to make sure, you know, you're just cooking your legs. But I like to do no more than like maybe 3, maybe 4 sets at most. Really depends on your goals at the time, whether you do high volume, low volume, whatever. But the main thing is you're getting in some isolation work. This includes calves as well. Don't skip those. So maybe like, I'll break it down a little bit. Maybe a calf machine of some sort. There's different variations of those. Hamstring of some sort, and a quad extension of some sort. So nice, easy. So 3, your compound, or 2 if you need, and then a good warm up. So those are 3 core parts to a good leg day. So I know I yapped a lot and kind of messed up with my words, but whatever. This is going to be a super long one, I'm assuming. I'm at 4 minutes almost right now, and I recorded like 10 minutes in the morning, I don't even know. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and share. And follow me on TikTok and Instagram. Have a good one.